Hi everybody, welcome to Brelsford Family Homestead. Today I want to talk to you about the meat that we raised here on our homestead for our family and how much it cost us. If you're new here, my name is Darcy. My husband Joe and I have a small homestead in Southwest Ohio. We try our best to raise and grow much of our own food. We do raise all of our own poultry and pork. We do not raise beef at this time. If you have been watching the adventures going on here, we did successfully make it to the butcher with our pigs recently. We had one who had somehow injured a leg, but she did recover and walked easily on and off the trailer. So Joe and I went and picked up the pork just recently, and I wanted to share that with you. I'll insert some footage here. All right, here we go.
Oh, we got that.
Start loading up the coolers here. Got brats, I got bacon, ham steaks, lots of grind and fat, and more fat in the other cart. Pork chops, spare ribs, ground pork. There's a lot. This is what we will be having for dinner tonight. Ham steak. Lots of bacon, and even the bacon ends. We got the medium cut bacon. Yum, yum, yum. We've never gotten smoked hocks before, so if you guys have some recipes or something, please let me know. We brought these 4 coolers. These ones are huge. And they are all full. Of course, there's fat in there too, but wow, what a blessing. We thought we were going to have a freezer emergency and have to buy another freezer, but as you can see, we made it. Everything in this freezer, minus that large turkey, is pork from these pigs. Amazing. We're so thankful for all of this food. Some of this will be taken out soon to bless another family, but wow, this is packed to the max. Sorry if it's a little bit noisy. I am in the greenhouse with you today. It is a bit breezy, plus all of the road noise, but I love to come out here when it's just you and I talking like this. I have all of the information of how much meat we got, what we spent on feed, and what we spent on butcher fees. But I went ahead and also brought out with me what all we spent on chicken this year, because I haven't shared that with you this year, and so I thought put it all together so you guys can see what we put into our meat. Now, we did not have any expenses for infrastructure because we've been doing this for some time, so we did not need to add anything. So obviously, if this is going to be your first time raising any meat, you probably will have some infrastructure or supplies, feeders, waterers, or something like that. So none of that has been put in with these calculations, but let's get into it. First thing, I want to show you this. I brought this out to show you. I love it. This is lard from our pigs. I had to render some right away because if you saw the footage, our freezer was packed and we couldn't fit all of the fat in there. So I rendered 13 quarts of lard so far, with much more to go. If you'd like to see my process for that, why don't you comment below and I'll bring you along when I do the rest, because there's still a lot more. Because it's on top, let's just go ahead and talk about the chicken first. This year we did not do as many chickens as we usually do. For my family of 4, I usually like to raise somewhere between 60 and 70 chickens. That gives me the ability to share with people and also have some overlap so we do not run out. We did not do that this year because, one, we were low on freezer space. We knew we were going to be putting 2 large hogs in there, and we just weren't able to get another freezer. That is on the list, but it just didn't happen. So we only bought 25 meat birds this year, which seems so little. We eat a lot of chicken, but it went fine. All of them survived. We had 0 losses, which you usually can account for about a 10% loss, but we had zero this time. So we bought chicks, we ordered them Cornish cross, and we paid $71.81 for those 25 chicks. Now the price that we pay for chicks can vary greatly because, you know, we're not opposed from getting them at the farm store. A lot of times we prefer it. We have less loss that way, and we have a great relationship with some of our local farm stores. Sometimes they have them on clearance, so they're already a week or so old, and they'll sell them for $1, sometimes less, and I'll go in and I'll say, I will take them all. And that will really save you money, so definitely keep an eye out for deals like that if you're getting into this. We had, like I said, we had zero losses. We feed the Kalmbach non-GMO start to finish meat bird feed. So they are on that for the full time that we raise them. And we have them for 8 weeks from the time we pick them up until we butcher. Give or take a few days because we always butcher on a weekend. We have workshops and things like that. And we spent $227.69 on feed. I forget what that averaged out per bag. It varies from year to year, but I want to say it's about $20 a bag right now, depending on where you buy it, of course. So our total cost was $299.50. Now we butchered our chickens ourselves. So if you have to take them somewhere, obviously you're going to have a higher cost per bird. Our cost per bird was $11.98. That is slightly higher than previous years. Last year was, I think, $10, but it's still okay. You know, if you want to buy a whole chicken that's pasture raised, because we do move ours in chicken tractors on the pasture. If you have pasture raised non-GMO whole chicken in the grocery store, I mean, you're talking $30 and up depending on your area. So we're really happy with that. We had no cost for butchering. We did ourselves, and actually we made some money because we held a butchering workshop, and although we charged very little, we did make some money with that. Woo, we're blown away here. So the average weight was lower than normal for us. We're not exactly sure why. We have some thoughts on that. But regardless, it was still a good weight at 7 pounds, 1 ounce per bird. Typically, we are at 7.5 pounds or so for our average weight. And so our cost per pound was $1.69 per pound. Of course, that is the weight of it dressed, so it still has bones and that kind of thing, but no innards, no head, no feet. I do keep all of we piece them out and vacuum seal them in the different pieces in meal-sized portions, but I do keep all of the bones, the skin, and the feet, and I make broth. This year I made 68 quarts and canned 68 quarts of bone broth, and I also saved the fat from that, which is called schmaltz, and I had 6 pounds 10 ounces of schmaltz to cook with. So that was a lot of good food for my family for not a lot of money. Now I will tell you, the pig feed costs are a lot higher than they were previously. Now, the comparison that I wrote down to share with you is from our pigs in 2019. And the reason I did that was because in 2022, we butchered our pigs several months early for various reasons. So I wanted to have like a better comparison for how long we had the pigs and how big they were and everything. So the feed was significantly more expensive than it was in 2019. That's kind of a no-brainer, but it's also more expensive than it was in 2022. The butchering fees were similar. I'll go through all of the breakdown with you, but we paid more for the piglets this time, but we sourced them somewhere else. Where we used to get piglets no longer sells them. So we had, $25 a piglet in 2019 and 2022. It was $75 a piglet this time. I think that ultimately we're still very happy with what we've done, but it was significantly more expensive. We had hoped to supplement their food more with, food waste and that kind of thing, kitchen scraps and garden waste. And we did some of that. However, not as much as we had initially hoped to, just because life happens. I had an injury. I had difficulty doing something, so we just did what we could. We spent a lot on feed, and we fed 40 bags of feed to the 2019 batch and 47 to this batch. And the last month that we had them, we gave them more feed than typical because we didn't want to have leftover feed. So we upped it. We follow the practice of giving them 1 pound of food per day per month old. They are maxing out at 7 pounds each per day. So we went above that for about the last month. So let me pull out the cost, and I'll also tell you how many packs of everything that we got. I hope this is interesting to you. Let me find that sheet and we'll go over it. Let's go ahead and start with the list of all of the pieces that we got. We got 48 packs of bacon, and those are 1 pound packs that were cut medium size. Plus there was 2 packages of the bacon ends. I appreciated that they gave those instead of just tossing them or keeping them from themselves. I was really pleased with this butcher, and the way everything was packed was incredible. We got 17 packages of brats. I don't remember. I'll insert a picture of Joe here. Those are the biggest brats I have ever seen. And I'm really wondering if I'm going to need 2 buns to eat one. I'm really hoping they're tasty. We didn't get a lot just because we had not had brats from this butcher before, and we're unsure of the seasoning and all of that, like if we would like it. We do not currently have a smokehouse or anything to do our own bacon and brats, but maybe in the future. Then we got hocks, smoked hocks. I'd never had smoked hocks before, so if you have recipes for that, please leave them below. We had 8 packs of those. Then we had ham steaks. We're not big lovers of ham, like cured ham, spiral hams, so we don't have those cured, and they just cut them into, I think it was 1-inch steaks. They're delicious. They cook super easy and fast on the grill, and they taste just like beef. So get you some of those if you have pork done. We also had the shoulders cut into steaks, or some of them. We got 12 shoulder steaks. We did that just because we love the ham steaks so much. We don't do a lot of pork roasts, and sometimes when we've gotten them, they've been like 12 or 13 pounds, and that's just too big for the things that we want to do. So this way we can either grill them, or I can cut them up and can them, or make pulled pork that's just not a huge big chunk. We had 6 bags of pork fat. Unfortunately, did not weigh that. I have rendered 3 of the bags down already and got this beautiful lard. And I made, last night, I made my chocolate chip cookies with my secret ingredient, which is lard. And this lard just sent it right over the top. They were delicious. We got 4 packs of ribs, I believe, short ribs. We have 26 packs of pork chops. We had that for dinner a few nights ago, and it was so good. There was 1 pork chop left over, and Joe took it to work and even reheated it, which I don't usually suggest that. I thought it would be way too dry. He said it was still fabulous, and he thinks that it is the best pork chop out of all the pigs that we've raised, which this is our 3rd time. We've raised a total of 6 pigs. And then we had 39 packages of ground pork. And then there was 2 packages of ground pork that was flavored as brats. I guess that maybe when they were making them, that was the leftover and it wasn't enough to do an additional package or something. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's what we got. And I've made 13 quarts of lard already, and I'm assuming that I will have at least that when I process the rest. So in 2019, we paid $573.95 for our processing, and they wrapped everything in paper. So this was by far better because everything is vacuum sealed. And also that processor was very difficult to work with. My husband called, they cussed him out, all that kind of thing. I don't think they're in business anymore, but if they were, I would never use them again. So this year, our processing for 2 hogs was $632.50. So there was a $58.19 difference, and I would pay that every day again. Night and day difference experience with the butcher, plus the packaging was so much better and professional and everything. in 2019, whew, the feed cost was so much more now than it was 2019. In 2019, it was 40 bags of the Kalmbach non-GMO family fixings. It's the grower food for pigs, was $617.61. This time around, granted it was 47 bags, but $970.57. So that was a difference of $352.96. So yes, there was, 7 more bags, but still, that's a huge difference. It was a little over $5 more per bag on average. And we did get our feed from 2 different places. At the beginning, we were getting from a farm store who carries Kalmbach, but then we started ordering it from a local feed mill here in our town, and it was cheaper to do it that way. So, but still, it was $14 or $15 a bag back in 2019. So, but everything has gone up, right? So in 2019, our price per pound, now we're talking hanging weights, not like the weight of all of the things that they give us in the freezer, but by hanging weight, it was $2.64 a pound. And this year it was $4.28 a pound. So that's a difference of $1.64 a pound. Now the hanging weights, if I didn't say that, on these pigs were 184 pounds and 226 pounds. So they both averaged 300-ish pounds when they were live weight. What we knew was smaller than the other the whole time, but also after they were injured, we're just not getting around as much and probably did lose some weight. In 2019, our piglets were $25 each. This year they were $75 each. So that made a difference of $100. 40 bags, 47, I told you that. So the total cost in 2019 was $1,206.65. And this year it was $1,753.07 for a difference of $546.42. With the rising cost of everything, when we're talking 2019 to 2004, no, we're not doing 2004, 2024. That's not a crazy amount. I mean, I would have actually even thought it would be more. Is it as low as we would like it to have been? No. Is it a lot? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. We enjoy having pigs. We had never had this breed before. They were large blacks. We really enjoyed them. And so far, everything that we have eaten from them has been delicious. We are very, very pleased with them and will definitely raise them again. They did not root as much as the old spots that we'd had the other times. We would have liked to seen a little bit more of that, but it still did well. They rotated on our back pasture really well. So even though it's a lot of money, it was worth it. And that, for us, we raise pigs every 2 years, if you haven't noticed from the years I'm talking about, because we're just a family of 4. We do bless some other people with pork as well. We don't currently sell pork, but that's not off the table for in the future. So we don't need 2 pigs for us each year. That would be a lot. So we're really thankful to have our freezer full, as you've seen from the picture, with lots of good food for us and our family and friends. So I hope all of this numbers was not too much for you. I thought maybe you would like to know the truth. There's not any hidden things in there. Would I like to say that it cost me less? Yes, but I want to be real, want to be honest, and this is what we did. It cost us a lot, but it's good. We love this food, we love this lifestyle, and we love raising our own meat. I hope in some way this has encouraged you to try this for yourself, whether it's raising the meat birds or raising the pigs. Now, I did not include our turkeys that we raised just because those were my daughter's 4-H birds. So even though they are in our freezer, I didn't put all of the costs and the weights that those are there. So we have turkey to eat this year as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider sharing it with your friends, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing if you haven't already. And we'll see you back next time. God bless.